been to some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. Sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Evening. Little show just to have a quick chat about us going back into the Champions League after being out of it for such a long time. I mean, you know, let's get it right. We had a club at one point 25 years in the Champions League, one cup final and 1-0. Interesting. And that was with a manager, in my view, far better than the one we've currently got. And I don't know. I've got concerns. But before we get into that, I've heard today a rumour, a reported situation that Saka may have an issue with his Achilles tendon, which he had last season. And it transpires that he may have had this possibly for a while, and he's been playing on it, which is not a bloody good move. Southgate pulled him out of the Scotland game because, from what I've heard, Saka said, look, something's not right. I'm not happy with it. And so fair play to Gareth Southgate. He said, yeah, okay, I'm hooking you. You're not playing. And that's respect. That's respect to the player, and it's big respect to the club. But my question is this. Has this been known about for a while? If it has, then it's a bloody shocking indictment of the management of this football club and the medical staff. He had this the latter part of last season. And we can all know that he didn't really perform in those last 8 to 10 games. Maybe it was a niggle. An Achilles tendon rupture is a serious, serious thing. Some people never recover. And we have to think about what's happened with some of previous Arsenal's footballers. Jack Wilshere, injury. Never really recovered from it. It wasn't an Achilles. Well, it might have been. I can't remember. But Aaron Ramsey never really recovered from that injury. But the team kept on with them until eventually it became apparent they just weren't going to make the levels that we were required, and they had to go. We have an absolute diamond in Saka. Why? Why is it that when we have a problem with a player, we continue to play them? I just think that's pure arrogance. I really do. I think that shows absolutely no respect to the player. If this is the case, I haven't actually seen a real true report yet. Maybe you guys in the chat have, and you can enlighten me on it. But we can't keep doing this. We did this with Thomas Partey at Brighton. Yeah, he was on the right touchline by the dugout, and you could see, I was at that game, and you could see him holding the back of his right thigh, and yet Arteta pushed him back on. That is disgraceful behaviour. That, you know, I've pulled a hamstring when I used to referee, and it's bloody painful, and it can take a lot of time to actually recover from that. And I find it so annoying. I really, and I could go into a massive rant on this because I just think it's disgusting that what we do to players nowadays, no, it's not right. And as David says, hi mate, hope you're well down there in New Zealand. Aces, we will see him landing planes twice as often now. I mean, that's a great point. How many other managers at top flight do you see micromanaging from the touchline? I watched the Ukraine game. I watched the Scotland game with Southgate. He's not doing it. I never saw Wenger doing it. I never saw Unai Emery doing it. I never saw George Graham doing it. I personally think, guys, it just confuses the crap out of the players. If you're a top class manager, you set your team up. How are you going to play the week or during the week before that game? Right? We've got Everton away. We're going to come into that one in a bit. That manager must have his game plan, his tactic, although apparently Arteta says there's 72 different tactics and there's 43 in defence and God knows what else. I'm sorry, I can't see that. I can't see that at all. I mean, I'm no tactician. I'm no top level football manager, but I just don't get that. That's absolute bullshit to me. To me, a manager, a top flight manager, in the week, in training, looks at his players, looks who's performing, decides what his tactic's going to be. He researches the team he's playing against, as in this case, Sean Dyche, Everton, right? Now, I know the tactic that Sean Dyche is going to play. He's going to park the bloody bus and he's going to bully the midfield. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. But Arsenal, I'm sorry, just do not seem to have, through our tactical play, the ability to break teams like that down. And no disrespect to Everton Football Club, they're in a pretty crap state right now. They're in big trouble. So, and we continue with this. Good luck to see you, Lenny. We continue this absolutely nonsensical way of playing players who are 100%. That is the way that you end a player's career early. It's happened. You can't keep doing this sort of nonsensical thing. Macy says, heard Vinay is finally leaving for good now, Arteta and Eto'o next. Yeah. Apparently 2024 he's off, back to selling sofas at Oakland Furniture, whatever the fuck it is. Take Edu with you, man. Give him a sales job on the shop floor. That's about the levels he is. And yeah, David, Vinay has resigned. Break out the champers. I wonder why. Why has he resigned? Is it something that he wants to pursue in a different area? I beg your pardon, because I find that quite interesting. He's been at this club since 16, 18, something like that. Maybe, no, longer than that. And he's out the door. Is there something else happening behind the scenes that we don't know about? Well, we probably never will. But it's good news. Because as a CEO, he is absolutely bloody shambolic. I was fascinated when I watched that All for Nothing documentary. Why is the CEO bringing coffee to your technical director? I don't get that. I just don't understand. I mean, that says to me the whole club is arse about tit. Really is. Good up to see you, Luke. Hi, Jez. Good to see you, my friend. Macy, Arteta is a bastard now. Saka is injured because of him and Southgate. Well, Southgate in fairness, hooked him out that squad. But you have to ask the question also, why didn't Saka, if he has got this problem, if he has, why did he not report it and say, look, I have an issue, my Achilles, I think. I'm not sure I'm fit enough to play. I know he's young and he wants to play every game. And I get that. I respect that. But you also have to respect yourself as your own body as a player. No one else in the world knows your body better than yourself. You know the niggles, you know the hurt, you know where it's going to give you a problem. And I think if he knew he had a problem, I think he should have called himself and said, look, no. I'm something's not right. I need some help. I need to get a scan, or I need to see a doctor, or I need to see somebody that knows about this crap. Now, I would think if that's the case, Arsenal Football Club would have the best physicians, doctor. They've got access to the best medical staff there is in London. They've got their access to the best surgeons, consultants. It's not like, they ain't got no money to help the players. They would do that. I just don't understand. Anyway, I don't get it, man. Tony Claude, Gunner TV. Big ups to Godfather Jez. Big up to you, mate. I think Tony Claude's going live at 8:30 tonight. Go over there and show them some love. Smash the likes up and all that. Noonan says, have we not learned from Wilshere? Exactly. Look what happened to him. Look what happened. Ruined his career. Never the same player again. And he's back coaching the under 21s, is it? Or under 18s, under 21s, something like that. Diego says, if your Saka was carrying an injury, why hasn't Arteta protected him? Mate, that's my point. That is my point. It's, to me, if he knows about this, it's bullying. It's playing a player at all costs. And I was chatting to somebody today. If you've got an aeroplane, right, and you've got an engine problem that could break down at any time, are you going to fly it? No, it can crash. I know that's not a great analogy, but the fact is still there. It can be an issue. If he's got an issue, if he's got a slight knock or a slight tear in his Achilles, that can snap. And he's out, that's gone. He's out for a long time. It's surgery. It's like an ACL injury with Timber. You may need surgery. Paul Gascoigne, look what happened to him. Did his ACL in that cup final. Never the same again. Great footballer, but is never quite the same player again. And, once you get a player gets an injury, possibly that bad, they know themselves that they're thinking, I don't want to do this again. So they'll slightly not be quite as 100% in their running, their tactic, in their running and their tackling. They're going to think, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to hurt myself. Because that could be, you do it twice, that's your career over, man. You're absolutely finished. Carl says, I'm convinced it was known from the club. Arteta's track record dealing with injured players says it all. Yeah, it's bloody shocking. Absolutely bloody shocking. And I'm waiting to hear more on this, because if this is the case, I think this is an absolute shit show. It really is. You can't keep doing this to people. And Mace says, I hope so, David Dundas. Yeah, I mean, man, come on. It really is. I could go on for hours about this, but I'm not going to. But anyway, we move on. We are now back in the Champions League, guys. We're back. And how many Champions League world-class players have we attracted? None. None. Paying like Bane. Very good evening, gracious host. Good evening to you, my friend. Glad you're here. Thank you. Just going to say, people, smash the likes up, smash the subs up. Massive. I gained loads of subs last night. Incredible. Nearly on my way to 4.2. 4,200. That's what I meant to say. But I'm trying an experiment at the moment. I did it last night. I'm doing it tonight. I've put the comments into subscriber mode only because I was advised to do that by a far bigger YouTuber than myself. So we're giving it a go. But we're back in the Champions League, and we're going to have a look at the squad that has been set up and basically put into UEFA. So I'm going to share this. So there we go. Oh, hang on, that's me. There we go. So we have got a team there. Now, I didn't actually know this. This is something I've learned. Is you have your A list and a B list. Now, the B list apparently is your under 21s and under 18s. So that's, I don't know if that's a new thing. Anybody can enlighten me on that. I've no idea because I didn't know about this. But we've got, if you look at that squad, it's not actually that bad. We've got Ramsdale, Raya, Hilson as goalkeepers. Hilson is obviously, I think, around about 21, 22. We've then got defenders in Cedric, yeah. Sousa, don't know about him. Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, White, Gabriel, Kiwa, and Saliba. Well, there's some decent defenders in there, that's for sure. We've then got El Neni still at the club because he was injured, wasn't he? And we gave him a new contract. Bizarre, absolute bizarre. A player's injured, give him a new contract. Fantastic. Jorginho, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, oh dear, Vieira, Smith Rowe. Yeah, I mean, Havertz at this point in time, he has to be in there. Of course he does. £65 million, he's going to be in there. That is for sure. But I don't know. Maybe playing in the Champions League, he'll be far better. He scored the winner for Chelsea. So that's his claim to fame. But I'll be interested to see what he does, and it will be a journey, that's for sure. Let's get that right. We then have as our forwards Trossard, Saka, maybe. If he's injured, then no. Martinelli, Reece Nelson, Nketiah, and Jesus. Now, let's look at that forward line. Trossard, I think, is absolute class. I think he was an absolute bargain. But will he play him? Will he start him? I personally, if I was to go through this, we have PSV next Wednesday at home. I would start him, absolutely. And I think that's an absolute bang on situation. This guy we bought, I think he's class. I think he's one of the most skillful players we got in the club. He's proved it, but why doesn't Arteta believe in it more? He bought the guy. He bought him. So play him. And David says, yeah, he's off to, what was that? What's that BYD mean again? I've forgotten now. But yeah, I mean, what a shit show that was. Getting conned by some woman in bloody Shanghai. That says to me, if you're a CEO in business, why didn't you do your research? Why didn't you have a look at this person? Who the hell is she? She never even worked for the bleeding company. I mean, dear God. I mean, if that is our CEO gets conned by a lady, right, from Shanghai, and he didn't even suss it. Really, dear God. I mean, see, Diego says, who appoints Vinay's replacement? Well, it'll be the board and the Cronkies. That'll be their selection. Brenny K74, even Jason all in the chat. Good evening to you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a interview type thing with the board of directors, and I would think probably Josh would be there. I'd hope he'd be there, because if you're running a multi-million-pound club, I'd expect the senior executives to be there to decide who's coming in. I might even apply myself, actually. You know, I've run my own business. I think I could do it personally. But Brenny says Arteta should have got a right wing of cover for Saka. That was a no-brainer. Mate, we were calling this all bloody summer. We knew where we were going to have problems or weaknesses, and yet we didn't get that absolute top-level striker, the 20-goal a season man. Didn't get him. Again, after 3 windows. We got rid of the best left-back in the Premier League, in my opinion. Let him go. We've let a player who I class as quality in Pepe go for jack shit again. And we could have a first 11 almost, pretty much almost, of players that we've let go for this club for nothing. It's an absolute bloody joke. I mean, I know we're a rich club, but you can't just let people walk out the door when you've paid 72 million. He was our record signing, Pepe, 72 bloody million pounds, and we let him walk out the door for nothing. It's ridiculous. But that's for another time, maybe. Macy says PSV and Eindhoven will smash us. Well, we're going to have a look at just after we have a look at this squad. Mama Flossie, evening to you, Mama. I don't know. It makes me laugh. Subs only mode makes my life a lot easier too. Well, yeah, as a mod, you will. Carl Rossi, my bro. Yeah, it's just an experiment I'm doing, this subscribers only thing. It was interesting last night, that is for sure. And Lons have got Bryce Samba, the goalkeeper, who used to play for Nottingham Forest. Have they? I didn't know that. Anthony, good to see you, my friend. Big up, Jez. I think the game against PSV won't be a walk in the park, but we'd like us to win, so I'm going for a 2-2 draw. Okay, fair play. Yeah, I'll give you my prediction in a while, that's for sure. Macy Nelly makes me sick. The only thing I'll say about El Neni, he always turns up. He's one of these players that basically doesn't cause trouble. He gets on the pitch. He does his job. He's not brilliant. Let's get it right. He's not a brilliant player, but he does his job. And there's no complaints. He doesn't play a lot. So I will give him my respect for that. Alex says, El Neni, nothing wrong with him. Squad player. Not everyone has to set the world on fire. Yeah, fair point. And he hasn't, and he has done a decent job when he's come on as a backup. So I'm not going to beat him up on that. That's for sure. I don't want Havertz, Jorginho, El Neni, and Nketiah to start in the Champions League. Well, they will. That's for fact. Ellie, the Book Reaper, big up Jason Chat, big up to you, my friend. Good to see you in here. And let's have a look at here. We've got Havertz set up a goal. It's going to be peak if he starts in the Champions League. Maybe the Champions League. I don't know. Maybe the Champions League. Maybe where he finds himself again. Because I think, personally, right now, that guy's got absolute jack shit confidence. I mean, I think he proved that when he sliced that pretty easy goal to score. So, you know, I'm not going to hate on any player, but you have to step up. You know, £65 million. It's a lot of dollar, man. And if we want a player that's going to score us goals, then I'm sorry, for £65 million, you got to do it. And I'm, you know, yeah, it was, yeah, but we'll move on. So I'm just thinking, right, that midfield, I mean, we've got Partey in there, Rice, Odegaard. I mean, I think that's a decent partnership. We've seen it, right? Fabio Vieira, he's put a little bit on him physically. He's, well, in fairness, when he's come on in a couple of games for the last 20, he's looked pretty decent. I can't deny it. So I'll give him license on that one. Smith Rowe, I think, is desperate to play. I really do think he's desperate to play. Havertz, we will see. El Neni, I think, will be a bench warmer, and he might pop on for the last 10, last 15. And I would probably say this will be his last season at Arsenal, and then he'll be, come the next, I'm not going to say January, but maybe summer, he'll be gone. And we'll see what happens there, man. Who got conned? Vinay. Yes, he got conned out in Shanghai by the DYP supposed electric car company in China from a lady trying to do a sponsorship deal that when she never even worked for the company. So, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? And you're supposed to be a top level CEO of a football club and running your own business. I just don't understand it. Was there something else to that? Don't know. But Vinay is worse than Ivan Gazidis. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that one, man. Vinay got honey trapped. Maybe. Eddie the Book Reaper, Arteta is a knucklehead, so he will continue to play Trossard. Unfortunately, hopefully, he will not play Trossard, unfortunately. Hopefully, I'm proven wrong. Yeah, he's got to play him, man. We need him. I personally think he's one of the most skillful players we've got. When I see Trossard come on as a sub, he immediately ups the tempo. In my view, I really do. He causes trouble, and he causes that little bit of doubt in defenders' minds. They're like, "Oh, wow, okay." Longhead Yeti says, "Win the Dog will be the new CEO. He'll do a better job, man. He would do a better job. That is for fact, absolutely fact." Alex says the CEO has to pick up everyone else's shit, so Win cannot apply. Fair play. Great comment, man. Great comment. Win the Dog has seriously strong Achilles. Well, you'd hope so. Well, I mean, I am concerned about this, man. Hayak says, did Fabio deserve a chance to start versus Everton? That's a good point. I was going to talk about. I want to talk about after we've done this little bit about the the Champions League. Beg your pardon. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the next few weeks. That's for sure. We've got PSV. Well, no, we've got Everton away, PSV, Tottenham at home. Then we've got Lens, and I think we've then got, is it Man City and then Brentford? I think I'm right in saying that. Anybody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's going to be an interesting few weeks. And I think I'm right in saying we've got 24 games before Christmas. Something we didn't have last year in that level. TJ Warren TV, good to see you, mate. Big up, Jez, and Legendary Chat. Big to see you, mate. Tomorrow night, guys, 8 o'clock, I think it is. Go over and watch the American Idiot Show with Lee Gunners on there, with TJ and I guess Dow, Connor, I don't know, but I'm guessing that'll be the crew. Going over there, show them some love, smash the lights up, get them up to 500 plus subs. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting few weeks coming up, because the fact we're now back is going to really show the mettle of not only Mikel Arteta, but the mettle of these players. Have they got the balls to go forward and get it done? Because I'm going to be interested to see. I really am. Now, defenders, Cedric, yep, Sousa, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Ben White, Gabriel, Kiwior and Saliba. Now, I would have to tell you there, right, that is a pretty weak lineup. Zinchenko will play their left back and go inverted, which is an absolute nightmare. I'm sorry, but if we do that in the Champions League, we are in deep, deep shit. Seriously. Tomiyasu, he's come on a couple of games, and I like what I've seen. I don't disrespect that guy. He's played at left back, he played at right back a season or so ago. The only problem I think is that he's a little bit injury prone. Now, whether that's him or whether it's the club, we do know we get a lot of players get bloody injuries. But Cedric, not sure about that one. Kiwior, what I've seen of him, yeah, I think he's decent. And I think he'll gel. I think it was an absolute idiocracy to bring him on last season in midfield against Liverpool away at Anfield. Don't get that. And if Arteta keeps doing that bloody kind of shit, then we are definitely in the doghouse with Win. And Win will probably kick us out, that's for sure. But, yeah, goalkeepers, I ain't got a problem there. Aaron Ramsdale, David Raya, James Hilson, know nothing about him. But we move on. So we have PSV at home, and we'll close this screen here and we'll go into have a look at this one. Oh, hang on, sorry, got that wrong. How we did last year, and where's it gone? There. Right. So there's Arsenal last season in the Europa. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it was okay, wasn't it? We lost 3-1 to there, and that's when things started to go a little bit downhill. And PSV 1-0 home. Wasn't an easy game. Away, we lost 2-0. So that has got to change big time. Big time. Because if that doesn't, we're out. We're gone. We should be looking, let's get it right, to be qualifying out of this group. No question about that. You know, I think we got lucky in the draw. I think we got probably, along with Man City, one of the easiest groups. You know, you look at what teams like Newcastle, the group they've got, that to me is the group of death. TJ says, yeah, 7 p.m. tomorrow UK time. Thank you, shout out, mate. No worries, bro. Always. Oregon, good. Jezza, good to see you, my friend. But come on, we've got to have the proper setup here. I don't want any of this nonsense of this inverted left back. It's not going to work, man. Especially if we get out of our group. It's just not going to happen. And we are going to go against the big boys. Once we get out of this group, yeah, okay, we can't draw another English club, but we're going to be the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. We know how crap we are with bloody Bayern Munich. So, yeah, that's my concern. Galazzo, good to see you, friend. Look, loving seeing you coming live more this season, Jez. Big up to you in the chat. Good to see you, friend, and good to see you back streaming. Hope you had a great day on your birthday with your twin sister. Hope there wasn't too much fighting after the game because she was a Man United fan. Yeah, there we go. Time says, Fran, hello, nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, good to see you back. And TJ, Galazzo legend, let's cook some Spurs later. Yeah, why not? And yeah, let's move on. So my starting 11, right? This is my starting 11 against PSV. Okay, I'm going to start Raya. Okay, I'm going to start him. Ben White, right back. Saliba, Gabriel, and I'm going to go with Tomiyasu actually at right back. I'm then going to go with Odegaard midfield, Rice for sure, and let me think on that one. I might actually start with Jorginho actually in that game. Yeah, I might start with Jorginho. I would certainly be, with possible reports today, I'd certainly be resting Saka. So I'm going to go with a front three of Jesus, Martinelli and Trossard. I think, it's sometimes times to mix it up and actually give teams a little bit of surprise, because I think sometimes we are a little bit predictable. Whereas we've seen, I think Arteta's tried apparently to change things at the start of the season. It clearly hasn't worked that well. So there's an opportunity, Mikel. Have a look at that setup I've just given you, because I think that will probably work for you. Writes Wildlife. Good evening, Godfather Jez in the autumn chat. Good evening to see you, my friend. Hope all well. Go and subscribe to this guy and his son. Great people. That is autumn stuff. Danny says, Win already took Vinay's office. I hope so. Because, well, actually, I'd like to be honest, but there we go. Yeah, so Andy says, hi, Jez. So that's my starting lineup. I'll be interested to know what you think about this, because I think it's time that we've actually got to seriously mix things up. Eddie the Book Reaper, Raya needs to start some games soon. We'll see how ruthless this clueless manager can be. I honestly do, he'll start. I honestly do think he'll start against PSV. Personally, to mix it up, I'd start him against Everton. I can't lie. I would start him against Everton. That is what I certainly would do, because I think Ramsdale, I really do like the guy. I think he's decent. I really do. But I think he's got lazy a little bit. I think he's got it easy. He knows he's in every week. I'm just having a quick swig, guys. Everybody in life is not going to get an easy run. sometimes you have to be challenged. And I think Ramsdale needs that. And that's why I think, yeah, we're away at Everton at the weekend. And so, change it. We've got the players, use them. We've bought this player on loan, so use him. Give him a run out. He's a decent goalkeeper, you know. So get him out there. Macy says, I'm worried against PSV and Lens, Jez. Well, yeah, I mean, Lens aren't playing great, but when it comes to the Champions League, it's a whole different story. Yeah. You get in the Champions League for one reason and one reason only. You're a decent side. They may not be having a great time at the moment in their league, but they're no fools. They're not a walkover. We're not playing Bognor Regis Town. You know, these guys are going to come out and they're going to challenge. They're nowhere near as a bigger football club as Arsenal. They're going to prove a point. That is for sure. So we need to be on our guns that day, because otherwise we are going to be embarrassed. That is a fact. And we cannot afford that. We have got back in this league and we need to actually prove that we are worthy. You know, we did so well last season, almost getting over the line with the Premier League. It's now time, people, that Arteta and his crew step up and win something. It has to be something big. He's had his time. He's had his millions. 700 odd £million, close on to 800. He's got to step up now, man. Seriously. Rights Wildlife sounds good, Jez. Would like to see Raya start? Yeah, I would. Yeah, why not? Why not? We got him in. I don't want him just sat on the bleeding bench all season, coming on for the Carrier Bag Cup or the FA Cup. Yeah, and that's another point, guys. I don't want this to be another season of disrespecting the FA Cup. That is an absolute shit show to do that. The oldest football trophy in the bloody world. Yeah, fact. And I've repeated this many, many times. An interview that one of the greatest footballers ever graced the game, Pele, was interviewed, and he said he was asked, "You've won everything in football," and he said, "No, I haven't. I never won an FA Cup." Mate, for one of the greatest footballers to ever grace the game, that says it all to me. But you know, you could call me old-fashioned. Maybe the FA Cup means nothing nowadays. I don't know. But to me, it means a hell of a lot. Jiminho, hi, mate. Hello, Jez, and all in the chat. Good to see you, my friend. Andy says, Jez, where has your mate Pete Hayward gone these days? He was actually in the chat once last night when I had it on subscribers mode. So that meant he had to subscribe and then unsubscribe to get his comment in, which I never showed. I never showed. So yeah, he's around, man. He's around. He's still being a clown. In the summer, he was like, "Oh, begging my forgiveness. You know, I was deluded. I was misled." As soon as the season starts, 2 games in, back to be how he is. Yeah, mentally tapped, I'm afraid. Sad to say. Jimenez says, I still think we'll top this group. PSV second, Sevilla third, and Lens finished last. Yeah, that's a good prediction, man. I think Arsenal will top the group, which means we've got a slightly better draw in the next round. But it's sticky. It all is down to Arteta. If Arteta starts playing stupid nonsense tactics like he did at the start of the season, then we could shoot ourselves in the foot. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. But let's talk about Everton. Everton on Sunday. We're away. We haven't done well there for 6 years. Again, I think this is a good opportunity, maybe to start Raya, and maybe go with the same lineup I said: Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli up front. And I'd go with Rice, Odegaard again in midfield, and the same defence, because and maybe I would go with maybe on that one I might go with ESR, actually, because he can inject some pain and pace, and that could cause some problems. Hayek says, is it Arteta out if we get no trophy? Fourth in Prem, Champions League runners up? No, he's got to win, mate. He's had his time now. He's had it. This is his fourth time. Fourth in the Premier League wins you nothing. Champions League runners up means nothing. He's had his time. He has to go. Simple as that. Longhead Yeti says, well, has 73 tactics and formations to choose from. He's an absolute prick. Yeah. Well, I don't get this 73 tactics and 43 things in defence. Couldn't conquer my wife and this. I mean, what is this guy on? Seriously, just answer the question. If a journalist asks you a straightforward question, answer it. Don't try and come out with some complicated bullshit that nobody understands and makes you look a complete prick. And by doing that sort of comment, it does make you look a complete prick, because people are going to say, what? Is he on something? Because I'll be honest, if I was the Arsenal CEO, right, and I'm in a press conference with Mikel Arteta, right, and that journalist that answered that question about the back four, and he came out with all that crap about, well, in the morning I get up and sometimes I'll go the M25, or I'll go down the Finchley Road, or this, or if it's a school run, or I might have to defrost my windows. And I mean, I'll be looking at him and thinking, what the fuck are you on about? Answer the man's question. It's a football question. You are the manager. You are the coach. Tell that journalist what you think. I don't really, as your CEO, want to know about how your journey to work is, because I really don't give a fuck about it, to be honest. Like, if I was the CEO and I walked into Arteta's office and I went, well, this morning, Mikel, I decided to come a different journey. I thought, right, well, rather than go round the north of the M25, I thought I'd go over the Dartford Bridge and come in via the Blackwall Tunnel, and then drive over the Thames on the ferry at Woolwich, and then come up that way. Really? Who on earth would really be interested in that? Seriously, really? I just don't get it, man. I seriously don't get it. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up shortly. But that's my view of talking about the entrance back into the Champions League. My view about Everton. I'll give you my team. Andy says, Jez, when is the next Arsenal game you're going to go? I will be possibly going to the Emirates in about a month's time with a couple of old mates of mine, and I will be at Brighton away always. That's so easy for me to get to. The problem is, Andy, nowadays it's a real bit of a problem for me getting there nowadays, cost wise, and logistics. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. But because I don't live in London anymore, and so we're going to quickly mention the game the following Sunday, which I am really disappointed about, is Arsenal-Tottenham. Every likelihood I am going to miss that game. because we'll be travelling with the wife, and if I'd known, or if I'd realised that it was Arsenal Tottenham, I'd have booked it either the day after or the day before. So I've made a major cock up there. So I've actually said to her, we have either got to go the night before and stay somewhere on the way, or we leave seriously early in the morning. There's no way I'm missing that game. I have never missed an Tottenham Arsenal game, whether being there or watching it ever since 1968. So not happening. And that's my fault for not researching things. And yeah, big problem. Big problem. Noel says, big up, Jez, mate. Hope you're well. Good to see you, my friend. And yeah, so the situation is this, that I said to the wife, well, you might have to start driving. I'll sit in the back seat with my iPad and watch it. And that didn't go down well, I can assure you. But it's got to happen. Or we stop on the way and we pull over and watch it in a motorway services place, because I am not missing that game. Fact, not missing it. No way. Can't be done. It's in my blood. I know. I joke. Kenny and I joke with Lee. They're our biggest rivals. Well, maybe not in success, but they are the noisy neighbours down the road, and we have to put one over on. That is fact. Jarino says, just your luck, Jez. Definitely not. Don't want to be missing the 3 points. Well, they're not playing too bad at the moment, aren't they? They're not playing too bad. So that'd be quite a game, I think, actually, Jam. I really do. David says, can't break that tradition then, Jez. No, absolutely not. Can't be happening. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Papa, Jez, you can go earlier and watch the match when you get there. Yeah, it's a 5-hour drive where we're going to, mate. So we'd have to leave. I don't mind. I'd leave 6 in the morning. Be there by, we'd be there by, let's say, midday. I can find a pub. I'll let you know where we're going. We're going to the Lake District. We're going to stay in this lovely little hotel. I've never personally been to the Lake District. I've always wanted to go. The wife's been there with the daughters, so I really want to go. And we're going to have a nice little week away, and 4 days away. And yeah, so don't worry, I will find something. Jam says, I know someone websites to watch replays of Gaming Jez if you want some, but I know it doesn't have the same vibe as watch it live. Mate, I'll be no, that's not. Yeah, thanks for that, man. I can watch it on my iPad. It's on Sky Sports. I've got Sky Sports on my iPad, so I'll be able to watch it there. Or where we're going, there's loads of little pubs. I'm sure they have Sky Sports or something. And I can go in there and they will see a complete utter numpty Arsenal fan jumping up and down, shouting at the TV, and I'll probably get thrown out. But there you go. It'll be fun. I will definitely watch it. Carnforth of Lancaster will have pubs 2 miles from the M6 showing it. Fair play. There you go. Thank you, mate, for that, Mike. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope the weather's going to be brilliant, because I've never been up to the Lake District, and I'm going to be doing something. You may not know, one of my biggest hobbies is fishing, and I'm actually going to be going out on Lake Windermere doing Arctic char fishing, which is a completely different way of fishing to anything I've ever known before. You don't fish with a rod and reel. You fish with a massive great pole and the line in the water. I don't really quite understand it, but I'm going to give it a go. And the place we're staying at, if you do catch an Arctic char, which is like a trout really, they will cook it for you. So I'm going to give it a go. Just hope the weather's nice. If it's too choppy, windy, they won't do it. So yeah, we'll have a laugh. Looking forward to it. And Danny says, "Hey, Carl Rossi, good news. Anthem is chanted proper. These kids are gone." I think I may have missed a comment there somewhere. Danny, big up Tony. Right, guys, I'm going to bounce because I'm going to cook my tea because I'm on my own tonight, so I've got to cook my own tea. And Luke says, "Pole with elastic, Jez." No, I think that's match fishing. I don't know, mate. I'll go with your better judgment. I've never done that. I know I can do fly fishing. I can do all kinds of the other types of fishing, but this is apparently a very special way of fishing for these Arctic char. So I don't know anything. I have looked at it, but but I'm going to give it a go. Hopefully, it'll be fun. And anyway, guys, thank you for everybody watching. Thank you for all the subs and the likes. And thank you to all the people that joined last night. There's loads and loads of new subs last night. Absolutely amazing show last night. It really was. With Lee and, of course, Kenny and Ola. Unfortunately, Northside couldn't make it because he had something to deal with. But before I go, guys, go and watch Tony Claude Gunner TV. He's live not long after this, and go and watch that show. Give them subs, likes, smash it up, give them some support, get in the chat. And tomorrow night, 7 p.m. UK, is TJ Warren with the American Idiot Show, and Lee Gunner is live on there. So go and give them some love and support, smash their subs up, get them over 500 if they're not already, and onwards to the 1,000. And yeah, Danny, have a good evening, Jez. Thank you, mate, and to you and everybody. Big love in the chat. Mama Flossie, thanks, Jez. Mama, love to see you. Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone. And we're looking forward to the weekend return of the Premier League at last. Get rid of that boring shit show, international football. It's rubbish. I'm sorry. I did my best. I tried to watch, but it was awful. I've never been so bored in my life. Brenny K74, have a good one, Jez. Thank you, mate, and you. Everybody, I'm going to do the outro. And take care. And as I say, go over to Tony Claude Gunner TV. Go and give him some support. Great content on there, man. And Andy, night, Jez. Night to you, my friend. And night all. And I'm out of here, people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. It really means it. It's been a great chat. And I'll catch you all later.